Okay, this is the Year 10 Forces test, October 2017. This is the difficult test. Let's first have a look. Make sure you read all the questions carefully. Focus on the trigger words. If you need to do any working out, do it on the question paper. Okay. You've also got, on the inside front cover, we've got the equations. Okay, you won't normally get these, but we have got them for this one. You will normally need to learn these. Some of them you will be given, so these ones you'll be given, and you also expect to know this one, although you should get given it as well. So let's start off with the first multiple choice questions. Okay, number one, bike is travelling at 14.3 metres per second. How far does it travel in 15 minutes? So how far is what they've asked us to find. 15 minutes is the time, and 14.3 metres per second, well, that looks like a speed. So I need to find an equation that links speed and a distance and time. So speed equals distance over time. So I'll write that down first. Speed equals distance over time. Now, they've asked us to find out how far it needs to travel. Okay, so how far it travels, I need to rearrange that. So if I multiply the speed by the time and distance over time times time, I will get distance on its own. It's rearranging the equation. So speed times time equals the distance. So that's what I'm going to need to calculate. So I'm going to put in that distance is the speed times the time. Now the speed is 14.3. So that's equal to 14.3 metres per second times the time. Well, the time is 15 minutes. But the thing you should notice with that, minutes is not the same as seconds. So we have to convert 15 minutes into seconds. So that's 15 minutes times 60 seconds. And I can just put it in brackets like that if I want. So I can just do that on my calculator now because it's a number that I can just calculate. So equals, don't do it in your head, don't try and do it in your head, just do it on the calculator. 14.3 times, and I can put it in brackets if I want, you don't have to, 15 times 60 equals 12870. And because I've made sure everything's in metres per second and in seconds, that will be in metres. Okay, now none of these is exactly the same as that, but the nearest one is this one. That's way too big, that's way too small, and those way too small. This one has just been rounded to 3 significant figures. That's the only difference. So that's our answer. Okay, second question. A builder raises 80 bricks. Okay, so there's a number there that's going to be useful. Through a height of 6.75 metres, and each brick has a mass of 3.5 kilograms. What's the change in gravitational potential energy? When it says what's the change in, it's because we assume it has none at the bottom and you raise it up a little way and it has more. So the change is just using the height. So we need an equation. We want to find gravitational potential energy. We've got various other things. Let's look for our equation that's got gravitational potential energy. We've got gravitational potential energy is weight times height. So let's write that down. GPE equals weight times height. I'm just going to write the letters. Okay, have we got the weight? Well, you have to remember, going back to the song, mass and weight, they are not the same. Mass is not the same as weight. We can get weight from the mass, but we have to look at the equation to do it. Weight is mass times gravitational field strength. And then we have to think, what's the gravitational field strength? That's down the bottom. Gravitational field strength is 10. Okay, so let's combine those together. The weight is the mass times gravitational field strength, and G is 10. So that's equal to mass times 10. Okay, so we now get GPE equals M times 10 times H, because 10 is G. What's the mass? Well, 3.5 kilograms is one brick. Okay, one brick is 3.5 kilograms. So 80 bricks is 80 times 3.5. So the GPE is 80 times 3.5 for the mass, times 10, because we've got to multiply by G for gravity, times the height, and the height is 6.75 metres. Now that I've got a number that I can just calculate, I'll just put it into the calculator and work out the answer. So we put that into the calculator. So it is 80 times 3.5 times 10, close the brackets, times 6.75 equals 18900. And it's energy, so it's going to be in joules, but actually all the answers are in joules, so we don't really need to care about that. And the one that fits is this one, okay, 18900. Okay, the last one on this page. This one's quite tricky. This one's not one there's an equation. You've got to think for yourself a little bit. Okay, so it says the cogs are connected. A turns 9 times in a minute. So how many times would C go in a minute? Well, A is connected to B, B then connects to A. The thing we have to do is think about how big the gears are, and particularly how many teeth they've got. So let's number them all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're back to 1. So this has got 8 teeth. Let's have a look at B. We've got, I can't really label it because it's in the way. Okay, 1 is this one, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then we're back to this one, which is 1. Okay, so that's got 16 teeth. And this one has got 1, 2, 3 teeth. Okay, so that's our first part done. We need to know how many teeth they've got. Then we think if this goes round a certain number of times, so if this goes round 9 times, okay, well, every time this one goes round, there's 8 teeth have moved past this point. And because they're interlocking, there's 8 teeth of B have to move that point as well. So when this moves around once, so if I move round at the same speed, okay, we get as far as 8. And then we move around again, and we do the remaining 8. So this one is actually turning, because there's 16 teeth and there's 8 teeth, this one turns 8/16. Oops. 8/16 times 9. Okay, and that's half. 8/16 is half. There's half the number of teeth on this one as there are on this one, so it's half the speed. This one, big one, turns at half the speed. So it is 4.5 times. Okay, so we can use the same idea for the next one. Okay, if B turns round once, how many times is this one going to go round? Well, okay, let's pick, where do we start from? So we've got 1, 2, 3 teeth, and this will turn once. And then we've got another 2, 3 teeth, and this is going to turn around again. And another 3 teeth, and this will turn around again because this has got 3 teeth. And another 3, so this will turn around again. And another 3, and another, well, 2, I think, or 1. 1 left. So we've got 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 left on its own. So it's 5 and 1 left out of 3 teeth. It's actually the same as 16 out of 3, which is the same as the ratio of the teeth. It's the number of times this turns when this goes round once. Okay, so 16 thirds is the number of times if this turns once. So if this is going 4.5 times, it's 16 over 3 times 4.5, because it's going around 4.5 times. And we can do that. 16, let's delete that, do 16 the way you like it. 16 over 3, okay, times 4.5, oops, delete 4.5, equals 24. So this one goes round 24 times when this one goes round 9 times. So that's my answer. Okay, like I said, that was quite a tricky one to do.